See, things have changed, and we're going to have more volunteer police officers. The state is corrupt. The country is corrupt. Well, everybody knows America is corrupt. Everybody knows. The state is corrupt, okay? The laws are corrupt. All types of laws are not fair to the common man, but they're also corrupt, and they're against the eyes of God. You know it's illegal to abort a baby? In some states, it's illegal. So in some state, you're charged with murder. In another state, it's perfectly legal. That's corruption. Corruption is disorganization, okay? That's how Rome fell. So you have some states that are like, oh, yeah, you can abort the baby all you want. Another state is, then you go to prison for murder if you abort a child, which that's how it should be in all 50 states. Nowhere in any law book does it say that a police officer can just have his way. To be honest, if you want to have a family, turn in your badge and turn in your gun, turn in your lethal sidearm. Because according to Jesus Christ, you're not a real family man if you own a gun, if you have a lethal sidearm and a badge. You are of Satan. You understand? Turn it in and get rid of it. Because the Lord told you to put away your sword. For those that will live by the sword will die by the sword. It's clearly it's clear in Scripture. So if you do have, and if you're a minister and you have a gun in the household, then you are basically handcuffing your wife, and you are imprisoning, but basically your wife and children. My dad did it for many years. You have that gun, you're of Satan. Because you'll live by that sword, you'll die by that sword. That's not what Jesus Christ told us to do. So listen to the Lord or go to hell. Okay? Another thing too, remember what Holtzclaw did. He did that with a lethal sidearm and a badge. He's representation of all police officers in the United States of America. Look what George Floyd did. He's representation of all police officers in the United States of America. It's going to be more volunteer security. Cops are going to be mall cops with tasers. That's what it's going to be. They're going to be like mall cops with tasers. And if you run away, you run away. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's being released where someone's running away from the police officer and getting shot. It happened in Arlington. There's no gun on that guy. You can't see a gun on that guy. All they did was gunned him down because they can't keep up with that guy. Running from the police officer is not immediate capital punishment, but yet it's going on right now. There was a police officer, and they need to investigate the Arlington thing that happened, where the black guy ran away and they murdered him. That officer should get the death penalty, because there is a guy that was in a park that it was just a helpless guy that had some mental problems. He ran away because he was scared. The police officer took his gun out immediately and shot him. Now they have to give that police officer lethal injection, and that police officer's dead. He died of lethal injection. He got the death penalty. The police officer got the death penalty. Put away your sword. Put away your gun. Turn in your badge. A lot of them are not only going to prison, but they're going to go to what's called Pine Valley, because death row smells like pine sol. Whenever you walk into death row, it smells like pine sol. Smell it. If you're an officer and you're carrying a gun, this is a warning. Turn it in, turn in your badge. Many police officers are going to prison, many of them. Now, the volunteer people that are rising up now, I see them on the roads. Those are the real officers. They're volunteer officers. They're not paid by the state. They have other jobs. Watch out. If you ever see an officer arresting someone, watch out. See what's going on. Most likely it's probably part of the methamphetamine deal. There's a lot of prostitution stuff going on Harry Hines, where officers are involved. There's a lot of crime with police officers today. A lot of them. How many police officers do you know that actually go to church? Now, they stand in the lobby of the church with their gun, But how many police officers do you know that are involved in their church and they don't wear their sidearm inside the church, and they don't have their sidearm anymore, and they put away their sword and their badge? How many do you know that do that, right? Most of them don't. And also another thing, in the military, there's more atheists in the military than anywhere else. And who do they serve? You're right. They serve the devil. And they are going to go to hell. So be weary. The volunteer officers, the ones, and also the volunteer ministers too. There's a lot of ministers that are going to hell as well. The volunteer ministers are the ones that they have a job and then they go out and they speak the word of the Lord. Because they work, because it says in Genesis that you'll eat by the sweat of the brow. So be careful. Be careful out there, because there's a lot of corruption.